Happy Saturday afternoon, everyone. Just going live as posted with my friend Tara Sinclair will be joining. I'm just going to wait for a couple people to join. Hey, everyone. And Tara will join shortly. So I'm super excited. I am thrilled to showcase what Tara has made with my new fabric collection, Prairie Meadow, which ships in the fall. So people are joining up here, and there's Tara joining. Let's get her on here. 1 second, bear with me. Waiting for Tara. Hey.
Brad, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm awesome. I have coffee.
Yeah, it's a lovely day in Edmonton. I don't know what it's like where you are.
Beautiful. There's sunshine out there, and it's like glinting right off the snow. So it's so bright.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think we're going to go sledding later. So that's the plan.
So jealous.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I was like, if you just, Damien, give me like at least half an hour without interruption, we can go sledding after this.
30 minutes. Just 30.
So, hey everyone, just a little introduction again. I'm Brett, Natural Born Quilter. Oh my gosh, I messed up your name. Tara Sinclair of OO Creations has joined me live. And we just wanted to have a really impromptu little like friendly visit, talk a little bit about my upcoming fabric collection, Prairie Meadow. And Tara made something really exciting with that. But before we get to that, we'll give maybe a little chit chat background. Like, Tara, you are also in Canada, in Alberta.
Yes.
Are you officially Airdrie?
Nope. I am in Calgary.
You're in Calgary. Okay.
Officially in the cow town.
Okay. Yeah. So, but BC born.
Born in Alberta, raised in
born
BC.
in Alberta. Okay.
Raised in BC.
I was raised in BC as well. So we're both transferred back to Alberta, I guess. So
transplant.
Yeah. And Tara and I have known each other for 2.5 years, 3 years, like 2 to 3 years. We met at a quilting retreat for the first time, right? Yeah. You gave a demo. I was too scared to do zippers.
You wouldn't do my demo, but I did your demo.
I know.
For the record, it's still on my wall.
Awesome. Yeah, Tara is a bag maker at the beginning. Is how you kind of started with fabric, I think.
Oh, so let me tell you. I don't know. I actually started with quilting.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I was so overwhelmed with being a mom to a stepdaughter and taking care of a house and doing everything for everyone else, because that's what moms do.
Yeah.
I took a quilting class just for me. I bought a machine, I got the fabric, and I took this class and loved every minute of sewing. Loved every minute of cutting the fabric, choosing the fabric, hanging with the people, learning something new. I
don't think I knew that you started with quilting. So what got you into bag making?
Quilts take way too long, dude. Way too long.
They can. They don't have to. You can do simple, but yeah.
That's way too long.
That's very complex and gorgeous. But so then you got into bag making.
Yes. So I picked up a kit at my local quilt shop.
Okay.
And it was just one of those little, it's got some interfacing in it, and it had a little Velcro closure on it, and it had a little button for embellishment.
Okay.
And it took me like 2 hours to make this thing front to bottom. Like, it was little jelly roll strips.
Okay.
It was so quick. I was hooked. Like, you can't just go wrong with that. Like,
okay, fair enough.
You sit in the sewing room, you whip something out, and you walk away, and it's done, and you can wear it.
Did you take a class, or you just bought a kit and said, I'm going to try this out?
Just bought a kit.
You're kind of a go-getter that way as well, so.
I've always been that way. You know what? Give me some basics, and I'm going to run.
Okay. So then where did you go from making bags? Because I think you used to make them back in the day, kind of selling them a bit, and then that kind of took some of the joy out of it, right? Like, just like,
oh my gosh.
Right? Like, that's a whole other realm of work.
Well, that's the thing is, once I made a couple of bags, there was a couple of people that said, oh, I really want one, but I want it in this kind of fabric, and I want it to do this, and I want to do this.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
So I did a lot of custom bags for a very short period of time. And even now, I'll take the odd customer request.
Yeah.
But I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants a vibrant bag. They want a black leather bag that looks really professional and they can carry their stuff to work in. And I want to go colorful and blend all those fabrics. So I started off doing just patterns, started hacking the patterns a little bit, got into some pattern testing to try out new techniques. And let me tell you, new techniques with every designer. Yeah. Every designer. We all do things our own way. And then it grew into me starting to take those hacks and those modifications and starting to build my own patterns all together.
And that's a whole other realm. It's one thing to come up with, like I tell people, like, ooh, here's a quilt pattern I came up with, which I'm sure you do. Like, you have a creative mind and you either sketch on paper. I've seen some of your I've seen sketches on paper when you've just shown me what you're going to do. And then transferring that to like high definition images for a pattern and then writing the pattern so it makes sense. That's a whole other ball of wax.
I could never do this without pattern testers. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, just because I wrote a sentence does not mean that my English makes sense to any other human being.
Yeah. I know that similar in quilting, like there is this whole like wealth of knowledge and sense of community in the quilting community. And I mean, I think and the bag makers and all of, because I think there's been a lot more crossover between quilters are like, I'm going to do bags now, because basically it's just breaking it down. There's some extra things that you're not used to using, like hardware necessarily.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But it's definitely kind of cool. Like people are really trying their hand at all these different crafts and stuff, I think.
Well, you know what's really cool is I get a lot of quilters in the classes. Not the last year, but previous to that, there was a lot of quilters coming to class. Yeah. And I'm introducing them to new seam allowances, double-sided tape, glue stick, our best friend in bag making.
Okay.
And it's you're still sewing, but you're doing such different things, using wonder clips instead of pins. Yeah. Just simple stuff. How about the fact that I have a flamethrower in my room?
What do you use that for?
Melting the ends of zippers and ends of webbing. And yeah.
Okay, interesting. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
that wouldn't fly. Damien would be like, I want to play with that.
Don't tell him.
Yeah, no. So then basically how long have you been making, how long is OO Creations? Like when did your company come into, like, was created?
I started posting a lot of bags on Facebook, and I figured my friends from high school or from previous jobs or even my family would probably love a break from that and maybe see my face instead of the bag. So I decided to start up a Facebook page. Okay. But I had to come up with a name and put it under something. And so OO Creations was born. And it was really just to segregate the family life and the interactions with those people that were following me already. Yeah. For just me being me. Yeah. Weird people. For me being me, but to my bags and the purses and the sewing and the crafting. Yeah. So, and every so often I'll still share something on my personal page, 100%. But it's not every time I post something and it's not everything that goes on. It's, hey guys, still got it going.
I think it was similar with me. Yeah. I felt like I was starting to bombard. Once I really got into this quote thing, which I dove deep in quick, I felt like I was bombarding like family and close friends with, okay, Brett's really into this quilting stuff. And then there's people that wanted to follow. And my other account's personal because I have lots of stuff with my kid on there. So I was like, hey, I got to create a different account, right? So then.
And that's exactly it.
100%.
A little segregation from the beautiful colors to the family life.
Yeah. Cool. And then where did the name come from? Is it
Beverages
story?
were involved in that one, right?
What?
Beverages were involved in that one.
Okay.
So my husband and my best friend and I were sitting around the table one night, and I'm like, if I'm starting this page, I need a name. But I have to be able to Google it. Okay. And I have to be able to type it and come up with some kind of logo around it. So we went through a whole bunch of variations. So my nickname in high school was Strawberry. Okay. So maybe SBD, Strawberry Designs. Yeah. Well, SBD is an acronym for something kids like, silent but deadly.
Okay.
Not happening.
Yeah.
So then we started talking about some of the other names out there and how they incorporate animals in, like Funky Monkey Fabrics. Yeah. And so my husband's like, maybe an ornate orangutan. And I'm like, I ain't being an orangutan, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh. Like, it just, we fell down this path.
Oh, okay.
And really, I'll be honest, no sewer makes things without mistakes.
Yeah.
No sewer. Not a single one 100%. Of us.
Yeah, I have my seam ripper, yeah.
And you know what? Half of my stuff has some kind of major mistake in it that I've had to back it out and figure out how to maneuver around. So, next.
Yeah. Okay.
So it kind of fell in my lap. And
okay, cool.
Now, I'll be honest. Don't go Googling Make sure it's Creations. Okay. Because is going to take you down a really bad path and you don't want those ads showing up.
Okay, 100%. Okay. So I'm just going to say, for those who are just, because more people have joined in, I'm Brett, naturally born quilter. I'm chatting with Tara Sinclair of Creations. And Tara and I have known each other for a few years. She's an bag maker and pattern designer. I say extraordinaire because your work is incredible. And Tara actually helped me with my launch of my first fabric collection. We'll get into that a little bit. Stag and Thistle at Fall Quilt Market 2019, right? Yes. Just, the years are just blurring all weird right now.
2020 doesn't exist. You know that, right?
So, yeah, I remember approaching Tara. I was like, would you make some bags for me for Quilt Market? Because I really want to diversify. There's so many people that are using quilting cottons, among other amazing fabrics out there, to make bags. And I was like, I really wanted to see some of my fabric done up with her patterns, keeping it Canadian, between friends. It was really awesome, So she said yes, and Tara made me 3 amazing bags. I actually have them. I will quickly show them.
I was going to say, I don't have them anymore. They're all in your house.
I have them. So I will quickly show those.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is show Tara has graciously done it again for me with a bag. So the 3 bags I'll quickly show. And this was with my first fabric collection. And of course, now that I have my new one, I'm like, ooh, I kind of want these done again, but it's okay. We're not going to. How many bags does one need?
Well, the other thing is that those are my first patterns too. So
yeah.
Your first pattern collection or fabric collection, my first pattern collection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we released them all at the same time. And
it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I remember for the one pattern, like, because one of the bags that you made for me is on the pattern cover, and I was like, oh, this is such a surreal, cool moment. It was really neat.
Oh. God.
This is one bag Tara made for me for Market. It's the Logan Sling bag. It's super cool, and that was with Stag and Thistle. I use this quite a bit. It's great for just like zipping out, throwing a water bottle and a wallet in it. I really like your attention to detail in. And I mean, I'm limited bag exposure, but I have like an eye for aesthetic and like everything.
Oh,
like I absolutely love this zipper at the bottom, which expands out, and just the fabric, because you chose the fabrics you wanted in all of these, which was really cool.
I did.
It kind of reminds me of just like a almost like a water, like you're riding on horseback kind of bag. So that's the Logan Sling. And
actually, there are a lot of people that do horseback riding that wear it, or motorcycle riding.
Okay.
Or things like that.
Yeah, and then the Billy backpack.
The Mini Billy.
Mini Billy, yes, sorry. Mini Billy, because it's just little. My sister's been trying to get this off me since it was made for her daughter. And we'll see. Maybe I'll cave pretty soon. We'll see. Super cute. So many people are like, ooh, I love how she did this. This means to me, I don't know. But like the way you did this zipper, I guess, was really cool. I don't know.
That's my own unique feature.
Yeah, yeah. And then also, I really like with this pattern, with this bag, it's kind of like, you throw it over like a purse almost, I guess, kind of like a bag. But then you had the zipper right on there, and you get like the little mini backpack. So I'm not going to model this. I'm in a little small room here.
I'm not sure you can back up far enough.
You get the point, right? And it's really cool. What do I have in here? Oh, I have a bunch of buttons in here. I was like, what is in here? So, and just all the details in, because you have like, I guess like you'd slip like little pockets that you slip like a phone or like a pen or something in, right? Pretty cool. And then the piece de resistance for me from that first launch was the John duffel bag, which is this one, which is awesome. Yeah, everyone's giving it a lot of love.
I love that bag.
Yeah, and this comes in some of your bag patterns come in multiple sizes. So this is...
That's
the
the
large?
medium.
It is the... Okay, so the large is big. This is like, I'm going overnight at a friend's house, maybe in 2019.
Exactly.
You know, or just a one-night trip or something, and you throw like a shaving kit and a change of clothes and kind of thing, right?
So if I'm going to a sewing retreat, I have a medium John duffel bag that I carry.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
But my husband who hunts
has a large. I remember you made one, yeah.
Yeah. He's got a large. And then people actually make the small for like a gym bag or a dance bag or that kind of thing. And so they've got all the stuff they need in there.
Yeah, like the way everything you did, like all the fine details on here are just crazy. Like the fussy cutting, like even on both panels here, the stag. I love that you have your own little like metallic emblem hardware that says "Oh Creation," so cool. And even to the detail, I know to me this is just like looking at all these things. Like, what's it called? Like a shoulder strap, basically, or pad?
Shoulder pad. And
it's just like, I don't know. To me, it's just crazily well done detailed wise, so bravo.
Thank you. You know, it's all about the fine details when you make a project. Like you can easily throw together a couple of things and hope it turns out, but it's the taking the time and coming up with the little nuances to it. And the reinforcement of stitching or the little bits here and there that make a world of difference to me.
Yeah. And I've had so many people that have seen this comment on how much they love this hardware, like these poles that you've used. I guess that's a big deal. I know they are really cool. So, yeah. And so that's the John Duffel. I have a couple of your patterns here because I had a couple. Oh, yeah. So there's the one I was talking about.
Mini Billy.
The Mini Billy with that bag on the cover, which is super cool. And then the John Duffel, multiple sizes. I like that you have everything nice and simple on the back. And then I've been eyeing this one up because I'm like, I want this made, blah, 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 looking at it, looking at fabric. So it's interesting opening this up as a quilter and be like, okay, how does this actually work? Yeah, so.
Well, the Keanu is a challenge.
No, I
admit that one. That
no,
challenge. There's actually a fabric group on Facebook that's going to be doing it as a sew along in a week or two. But
okay.
So on my Facebook group, you can find out any activities that are happening with patterns that I know about, of course.
Okay, nice, nice. So when you had pretty much a recent launch, so let's go into what you've made for me next. So I announced officially, even though you knew sooner, January 1st, I announced the launch of my second fabric collection for Northcott Fabrics, which was Prairie Meadow. Oh, you got a nice piece of that still.
Oh, I've been fussy cutting this like you have no tomorrow. This is
awesome.
That's all that's left of this.
Nice. That's probably one of my favorite SKUs from the collection.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, so this is Prairie Meadow. You've probably seen it on my Instagram or Facebook page, or Northcott has it all up. There's its in entirety. It is 16 SKUs. One of them is a wide back, all quilting cottons. And I approached Tara probably in the summer, right? Like, shot you a text like, hey, this is happening. It's finalized. Do you want to do a bag? Or I think you knew it was going to be coming again when I had my second anyways.
I knew you were coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to come back to each other and say, hey, I got something going on.
100%. And it's so funny. I remember we were at Fall Quilt Market and I already knew the concept for this collection. And I remember you telling me, ooh, put an Indian paintbrush in there, which was already part of the idea, which is this flower right here, this red one here.
So gorgeous.
Because I guess they're one of your favorite flowers, or you really like them.
Growing up in northern BC, when we would walk to the school bus, I remember plucking the Indian paintbrushes. 100%. I love Indian. They're the only flower that really calls to me.
Oh, well, there you go. Do you relate to them with the fiery red hair? So yeah, Tara and I messaged each other back and forth. You had a new pattern launch. Talk about this pattern, and then we'll showcase the bag you've made.
All right. So the pattern that I'm doing is the Bailey backpack.
Mm-hmm.
It is in paper copy already for wholesale for my quilt shops, and it comes in two sizes. We have a mini and a small. Yeah. There is no large in this. This is just a small backpack. Keanu's the big guy.
Yeah.
So we're doing mini and small. And then this pattern actually has 3 different fronts that you can do on it. You can do a nice plain front, feature some fabric, have some embroidery, do some applique, piece it. Yeah. Anything on the front. Or there's another one that has a zipper pocket that's got a flap over it. So it's a hidden zipper pocket.
Okay.
So it gives you a little feature fabric in the front. Again, you can still fussy cut something. And then the third one is a 3D pocket. So kind of like those classic backpacks you see in the store where they have that pocket that sits on the front of the bag and you unzip it and it's a 3D pocket, but made with all rectangles. So there's nothing funky about it. And you don't have to do curved stitching and try to top stitch something down to the center of a piece of fabric. It's all pieced and it comes together really, really well.
Okay.
So yeah, it's got the 3 sizes and then, or the 3 fronts, 2 sizes. So the 3 fronts in all 2 sizes.
Yeah.
And then 2 strap lengths. So a toddler, I'm not going to say kid, toddler strap length, and an adult strap length.
Okay.
So that you can have the really short ones for your little kid, but you also can make a mini backpack for an adult and still feature that. And then I actually just launched an add-on for a sling strap to go on it.
Okay.
So if you purchase the pattern from my website, you'll get the download file for that. But if you get a paper copy of the pattern, I have it in a blog post. So all the details are available on my blog.
So it's extremely customizable for people.
Very.
Yeah, which is nice. There's options, right? I always like that in quilt patterns, like multiple sizes or different things you can do, right? It's kind of nice to make it your own, so.
But my favorite quilt patterns come with like a pillow and then a little quilt and then a big quilt.
Yeah, awesome.
That's my favorite. The mix and match style really appeals to me because when you're making your own product, you want it to be yours.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, especially if you take the time. So the Bailey launched, when did you officially launch it? Was it a month or 2 ago?
It was December, I think.
Okay, December. Yeah. So about a month ago, right? So
about a month ago.
And it's popping up in quilt shops now, right? For places that are carrying it. Yes. Do you, and then I know you chose the SKUs from Prairie Meadow. So let's drum roll. Let's.
You ready for this?
Yeah, let's see it.
All right. Here.
Look at that.
Small size of Bailey.
Awesome. I love it.
With all the fabrics.
Yeah, look at that. It looks so good, Tara.
So this is, I'm going to stand up a bit and move out of the way. So this is small, not mini, small. So you can see it's actually a decent size bag. Yeah. Like it's not too small or too big. I added, which is not in the pattern, I added piping around here to help frame that fussy cutting. Yeah. Like it needed just that pop of red to bring out those colors that you've done. Like I thought it was just perfect. Yeah. I stuck with the plain front for that fussy cutting because you had given me the measurements of what that was, or you had given me that scale, and I'm like, I can just fit it perfect. It's right there. 100%. It's like it was made for that front, right? Like it fits perfect with the red-tailed hawk and the 2 pronghorns facing each other. Love it. And then I brought in the blue fabric on the exterior because I'm sorry, we all set our bags down, and in winter in Alberta, it's wet. 100%. So dark fabric on the bottom. That's actually one of my favorite prints, actually. That blue is amazing. Yeah. Then on the back, I did adult straps, and we brought in that red. Again, the piping red that I brought into the back as accents. Yeah. Okay. And I do have a question here, Tara. I'll pause it for a second. Is there a tutorial for adding the piping? Jason from Kingfisher Craft Co. has customers asking already. Oh my gosh. I will do a tutorial on it. Okay. Coming your way soon. Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking about that when I did the piping, that I'm going to have to do this in a little tutorial. Yeah. It's just not an option. Yeah. And then when we open this up, I brought in that teal color that you've got throughout it. I really like it. And I'm going to fold the front down here so you can see. Maybe. Look at that. We have a zipper pocket here. Nice. As well as a slit pocket. Sweet. To hold all the stuff. And it's soft. We use fusible fleece in this one. It's super soft. And you'll see that this isn't, bag makers are going to notice this. Quilters probably won't. There's no sloppy lining. The lining is actually sewn into all the side seams. So when you grab something from your bag, your lining doesn't come out with it. Okay. So that's a bag maker thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, I've had bags where
that I purchased, like retail, and it comes out, you know, you're taking something out and it inverts on itself, right?
Exactly. Now your bag's inside out and you're like, wait a minute, how do I have a lining over here?
Yeah.
So we have all those features. And when I do the straps on my backpacks, I always make sure that I've got a reinforcement here because this is your weight. This 100%. Is where all the stuff is happening. So I always ensure that you've got instructions to make sure that this is never pulling out.
Nice.
So just what I do in my patterns. It's what I'm worried about.
Well, you don't want to go through the effort of taking the time of doing that and then putting something a little too heavy, like a textbook or I don't know, something, you know, exactly. And the straps rip off or one strap rips, right? So
one last feature, look at that front there. I just love the framing of that. It just turned out beautiful.
I can't wait to see it in person.
Now I'm going to show you something else I've done that you don't know about.
Oh.
I have taken the leftover fabric and started working on a mini Bailey.
Ah.
So I'm doing the front pocket here.
Oh, so cool. Okay.
Managed to fussy cut a little bit more.
Yeah.
So this is a full pocket here. You can tell it's not together yet. I'm still working on it.
Well, it's kind of neat to see it actually in panels or segments. I don't know what you call it in bag making. Panels? I don't.
All the pieces.
Pieces, right? So, yeah.
But I got that beautiful bird right up the top.
Yeah, the red-tailed hawk, yeah.
And then this lining is almost identical to the lining in the small. So we've got the zipper pocket and then the slip pocket.
Sweet.
And this is the mini again. And this will be my back. Haven't got the stuff on it yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Sweet. And my straps.
Very nice.
So instead of using the red, I've continued to use that lining fabric just for a difference. Yeah. And then this one I've actually gone with a white zipper on my gusset.
Okay.
So still that blue on the bottom. I love that fabric. It's got to be my favorite. Just like
I it's hard to choose a favorite. Like I think the feature print that you've used, and I mean you can tell from my sample yardage that I have, like some of these I still have, you know, like a yard and a half. This is like barely wrapped around here. Like this is like.
Well, that's like my little piece left that has one picture on it. Like
that's it. Can you hold up? I have another request. Can you hold up the two? I know the one's not done, but just the front panel of the mini version and then the small version.
Yeah, let me do it this way.
Yeah. Okay.
So of course, seam allowances still have to come into play on here.
100%. And then the difference is the version that's complete doesn't have that front zipper because there's 3 options, right?
That's
for between the patterns. So then that's okay, cool. Yeah. Awesome. It looks so good.
I'm excited about it. I've been working on it this morning. So
nice. I need to get this sewing. I'm waiting on they're short on some of the solid coordinates that I have, and I'm like literally I have all these rose piece for this king size quilt I'm making, and I'm so gung-ho to get it because once it's pieced I can send it to Christine to get quilted. It's all ready, but I'm just like, okay, I literally need like I think 6 9-inch squares, and I'm just like, come on. But it is what it is. I might start on some paper piecing. Yeah, So for people that are interested, if they inquire at their local quilt store, if they have the pattern, if they don't, they can check you out at
www.uh-oh creations, but uh-oh is UHOH.
Okay.
So I do have, there we go, UHOH. Okay. It's probably reversed. I'm sure there's a whole mirror thing going on here.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, and so you do have digital downloads or paper patterns?
On my website is only digital downloads.
Okay.
But when you purchase one of my patterns, you don't just get the instructions with it and the pattern pieces in one file. You also get a copy shop page that you can take to Staples or something like that and get a big printout so you don't have to tape pages together for the pattern.
I don't like I've had quilt patterns that do that, and I find it so frustrating. I'm like, literally I'm taping together like 8x10 pieces and cutting them up again. Like, that's nice.
That's our day-to-day life as a bag maker.
Oh, okay.
Printing 18 pages and turning them into one big sheet.
There you go.
So yeah, we are doing that. And then I'm actually slowly starting to introduce SVG files.
Okay.
So that those can go through your Brother Scan and Cut or your Cricut Maker to cut out your pieces. I'm working on that. That's coming.
That's cool.
So I have a little free pattern on my website. It's just a sleep mask. And
Okay,
it
I
actually
saw
comes
that.
with
Yeah.
that SVG file so that you
Yeah.
can pop it into your machine and have it do all your cutting for you.
Nice. And
Come
so
in.
is that like the cutting, like you put fabric through there, or you
Yeah.
put, I know my friend Pam has a Cricut and like does, I mean, multitudes. It's like fabric, metallic, like thing, like everything. It's insane. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so, okay.
So
That would be
on
nice.
I have the Brother scanning cut because I have a Brother sewing machine, so it all ties in.
Okay.
But I can take my sticky mat and I can put leather, vinyl, cork, fabric, anything on that, toss the shape into the machine.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts it all out. And now I'm halfway there.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So upcoming stuff for you? You're still doing some new patterns?
Definitely doing patterns.
Yeah.
I have a purse in the works right now. I've noticed my collection is lacking a lady's purse.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened.
Okay.
So I've got that going on. I've got I'm helping out with a sew along for the Keanu backpack.
Yeah.
I'm going to be featured on a podcast with Quilter on Fire next month.
Cool.
That's coming up. And then
you also had a big yeah.
Sorry?
I was gonna say you had a big announcement recently, so mention that briefly.
I am a Michael Miller Fabric Ambassador for 2021. So you're going to see a lot of Michael Miller fabrics on my website or on my Facebook.
Nice.
Doesn't mean I'm not showing yours.
Yeah, no, but it's nice to have all supplies, right? So.
And that's the thing is being able to showcase all the cool things you can do with all the quilting cottons out there, not just big bags or little bags, but all the fun stuff. Like,
yeah,
I can't wait. I'm really excited.
Someone asked, and I don't know what we were talking about. They said, "Will it work on a silhouette?" I don't know what that is.
Yes, silhouette cameo is another one of the cutting machines.
Okay.
So I believe that all of them actually use the SVG files. If not, then the software that comes with the cutting machine should be able to convert it into the right file from an SVG.
Yeah.
I knew what that one was.
Okay. I was like, my silhouette? I was like, I don't know what this is. Okay. I learned something new. So
look at that. Maybe we need to get you a cutting machine next because honestly, you can toss the files in for all your stuff and just
I could, yeah. So of your patterns, if someone was like, I really want to get into bag making, what pattern would you recommend they start out with first? Because I know you do have some more beginner friendly patterns. I'm not going to say, let's do this first, people.
Let's not do that one first. I love a challenge, but let's not do that one first. You know what? I have a free pattern for the peanut tote just to get the idea of some of the techniques in my pattern writing style. And that's just a shopping tote. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
At the same time, I also have the Rio tote is a really good, simpler to make bag that doesn't have curved stitching or anything. It introduces you to darts, zippers, a little bit of hardware. It's a convertible backpack tote.
Okay.
So you can wear it as a backpack or you can use it as a little handbag or a crossbody strap.
Okay, cool.
And that one gives you a nice professional looking bag with straight lines.
And a good intro into getting into it, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
But I always recommend any beginner bag maker, go find a free pattern on your designer's website. We all have them because we want you to try it and see if I don't talk everybody's language.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
I want to talk everybody's language, but it's just not quite possible.
Yeah.
So
basically, for a lot of quilters out there, if you got a sewing machine, you probably have to get a couple additional supplies and try a couple new techniques. If you haven't, I should do this. I should I should try one of your simple patterns. And I should actually videotape parts of me doing it to how, I'm going to say straightforward and easy it is. I'm just scared of a zipper. I don't know why I'm scared of a zipper so much, but I am.
You know what? It's not uncommon. When I was down in Quilt Market with you, I was hanging out with a friend I had made there.
Yeah.
And she's an avid quilter, and she does incredible work. And she's like, I'm never making a bag. There's zippers. Yeah. And I'm like, but honest to God, what you have made is so intricate and so gorgeous. Yeah. She's like, Terry, you're going to honestly have to be on a video with me showing me how to do a zipper because it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's so funny.
I mean, and there's a wealth of knowledge on the internet. I mean, it's all searchable. I know you have some stuff. Don't you have some stuff on YouTube as well, or is it on your website?
A little bit on my my YouTube, but I also have the links on my website. I try to keep it easy to find everything.
Okay, sweet.
Everything. I actually the George handbag and carry-on, or I think that's what I called it. Now I'm blanking. Carry-all.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a beginner bag, but I did a sew along for that one when I launched it, which means there's actually 4 videos showing you how to make it. And at the very end of that, I did a video, which is also on YouTube too, about finishing techniques on your bag. So how to press it really well, how to get those nice crisp corners, how to make it look professional after you've sewn it. Because making it's only 3/4 of the job.
Yeah.
If you're going to say, okay, it's sewn, I turned it right side out, I'm finished, it still looks pretty homemade.
Okay.
But the moment you spend that extra time to press it out and take that care to give it that final look, now it looks handmade and professional.
Yeah. My friend Karen at Lady K Quilts just said, quilters like myself have trouble doing 3D sewing. And that's what I don't think I can wrap my head around. I'm just like, okay, like how does, right? It intimidates me a little bit. So, yeah.
How does this actually work with this?
Yeah. And then putting it all together. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? That's where quilters do actually struggle, because you use the word ish to get stuff working. It's not a 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's a 3/8 seam allowance ish.
Okay. And we're so like by math usually, right? For quilting. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of give in bag making. There's a lot of give. And yet I'm not saying don't follow the instructions, because let me tell you, follow the instructions the first time.
And do you have any, are you doing any virtual teaching in the next year, Tara? Maybe yes, no, maybe so?
Looking into the options around that. I do still have a full-time day job, which keeps it really, really hard.
I get it. Because I've had inquiries too, and I said, I just can't at this time. Like, I just, I don't have energy come the end of the day.
Exactly. And even in the middle of 2020, I was asked, hey, in February, did you want to do a class out here in Saskatchewan? And it's like, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'm not committing to any in-person anything. Like, we don't know what's coming.
And that's what I kind of did too for 2021. Like, I had inquiries last fall and summer. Like, can you do this in April? And I was just like, you know, I just want to play safe and don't do all this planning just to say I can't come. So I've kind of just put a pin in it, say, you know, try to do maybe some tutorials that I haven't, you know, like a couple of things, some virtual guild stuff if possible, and go.
And you know what, I'm wide open to guild chats and interactive teaching. I always do better as interactive teaching rather than me sitting here, show you how to do it and then wait for you to do it.
Okay.
I want to be there. I want to be hands-on and help you get the right position for success. Like, it's really, really hard to go from that to watching you on a camera and hope you're staring at you like this, trying to see if you're doing it right.
100%.
You get that really close-up of the eye all the time.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the day that everything is back to a new normal and I can have you come up to Edmonton, because I know a group of us, of my friends, want to have you teach us a class. So we'll have to do that sometime in the next year or so, probably. So
exactly. And you know what? I'm considering the online teaching options. I am thinking about it. As you can tell, the room's kind of full, so I'm gonna have to come up with a new setup if I want to do this. But I've got the right light. Like,
your lighting's great. Yeah. No, that's the thing. That's the thing, is the whole setup, right? Like, I'm in like a 10 by 10 basement room, and I just don't have the setup. But yeah. Yeah,
and I think this is a 10 by 10 room, but at least I've got big windows.
There you go. Yeah.
Only because the kid moved out, you know.
You got the room. Yeah. So I think, I don't know. Do you have anything to add, or should we wrap?
I'm going to give one more piece of advice for any beginner bag makers or anything like that. I do have a Facebook group.
Okay.
Where I'm in there all the time. I'm answering questions. I'm helping out, and that's Sewing Creations Patterns.
Okay.
You can find it on Facebook. You do have to answer the questions. I want to make sure you're a human before you're coming in. I don't like those bots.
Yeah.
But it is a fairly large group, and any promotion I do, even our video today, like our live feed, I posted in there. Anything that's happening, it's in that group.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're quite active on Facebook. I'm more active on Instagram. I just am.
Okay. So
I don't know why it is. So
software consultant by day, can't figure out Instagram by night. Let me tell you, I got something wrong with it.
That's too funny.
I can figure out any computer, but this, thank gosh, you're running the show.
Yeah. So I think we'll wrap up. Hold up the bag one more time. So this is
just one.
Well, hold it up. So the Bailey backpack that Tara did in Prairie Meadow, which the fabric is coming this September if there's no delays. And the pattern for this is available now on Tara's website, like she talked about, or perhaps your local quilt store. If you love the fabric or love the pattern and want paper in person, talk to your local quilt store about ordering the fabric from Northcott or the patterns for Tara's bags from her directly. And you can find all our information on Instagram, Facebook, webpage. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Good little
Gotta get that one in there too.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one.
Oh, someone's quickly asking, is there a place to get, where do you suggest hardware kits? Do you supply that?
I suggest Emmeline Bags.
100%.
I get all my hardware from Emmeline Bags. She actually carries my paper patterns.
Yeah.
So you can get your hardware and you can get your pattern. She even has some interfacings because that is the big intro to bag making from quilting. There's stabilizers and interfacings. And if you have questions, either contact myself or Janelle at Emmeline Bags when you're purchasing.
Yeah.
She knows my bag patterns. She knows my stuff.
And she's known worldwide. And she is also in Alberta. So there's 3 of us right in Alberta. She's just a stone throw away from me down the road.
I'm so jealous. I've never been to her storefront.
Oh, really? Oh, it's quite cool. Yeah. I mean, this was like pre-pandemic. We went out for an afternoon, but it was pretty neat. So
yeah.
Especially she showed us like all the hardware. Like it's insane, their warehouse section back there. But yeah, they have like a little fabric. So she had, I don't know if I don't think they're open right now for in-person stuff.
They're doing curbside pickup.
Okay.
And
but her website is like
open hours. Her Facebook group has all the info.
Okay, there you go.
Emmeline Bags, patterns, and hardware.
Yeah.
I think about the group name.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see that bag in person. We'll have a little chit chat after this. And I absolutely love that bag. It is amazing. I can't wait. We'll probably post a photo of it on our social media after this. Then stay tuned because I'm assuming Tara's going to finish creating that mini version of the Bailey and post it.
You know it's coming.
Yeah. And I imagine it won't take too long. She's pretty quick. So, and stay tuned because I'm going to be featuring, I love doing this with all the sample yardage I got of Prairie Meadow is at various makers and pattern designers around the US and Canada. And I kind of like this little platform. It's kind of fun to have a little less than an hour coffee chit chat about what we made with it and kind of our background and how we know each other. So it's kind of neat. So
it's so fun.
Yeah, I think everyone, thank you for joining. It seemed like people were liking it, getting some love and stuff, and everyone said beautiful bags and everything.
I keep seeing hearts floating.
Yeah,
that's got to be a good sign.
That's awesome. So I will say, everyone have an amazing rest of their Saturday. I hope to do a little bit of sewing today. It looks like you're going to continue sewing, and
I ain't leaving this room right now.
Yeah, and I will repost this to my IGTV, and hopefully everything works that I can get it sent to you and what have you, since we're under an hour, and go from there. So I just want to say a big thank you again, Tara, for making that project. It is beautiful, and
thank you for involving me.
Yeah, well, 100%.
It's fun. It's so fun getting to work with that brand new fabric and get to showcase it. I love it.
It's fun getting stuff a little bit early. So yeah. Okay. I will say goodbye then, and everyone have an amazing Saturday.
Bye.
Ciao.